Look at that. I've got some visitors from ANACS. A submission that I put in over 3 months ago. It's another story within itself. I think we should go right at it. See you in a bit. So, hi, this is Silver Chupacabra. Super Chupa, Jeff. Whatever you want to call me by in those terms. And we've got an unveiling. This is a little bit of a different unveiling that I've had in the past. All of my sojourns into unveilings have been with PCGS. This time around, it's ANACS. You might ask yourself, why ANACS? They're not known necessarily as the top of the top when it comes to grading. I think one of the reasons why I went with them this time around is they actually kind of are well renowned for finding varieties. And they actually will research it and look for you. You can pay them to do that. And I actually have done it with a couple of the coins in here. Another reason they seem to be a little bit more renowned for, I don't know why I would say oddball coins, but I'm going to say that. I've got shield nickels in this submission. I've never done that before. Mercury dime. Never done that before. And I've got some Benjis and Morgans, but I thought I'd give them a shot. I know their headquarters are a mere 25 miles south of where I live. So why not try them out? And the thing is, on October the 13th, we're guests of one of the major coin shows here in Denver. There's one that's done twice a year, usually in May and in October, down at the Denver Coliseum. I guess you could call it a conference room. It's a pretty big little area there. Not in the old Denver Coliseum. That's where they do the stock show in January. Anyway, they were running a deal, and I couldn't pass that up. Now, you heard me say October 13th. Well, yeah, that's like over 3 months ago. And they took quite a while. So whether I go back to ANACS ever again or not, that's kind of, I would say it's, right now it's not above 10% in my mind's eye. Anyway, so I've got 10 coins to look at and show you, and you can kind of play along and have your own ideas of how you would have graded it. We'll unveil it and kind of check it out. Here are the coins that I did submit. There are 10 of them. Couple of shield nickels, one from 82. I had them look through it. There's massive amounts of doubling on this. But the thing is, I believe it's all machine doubling. But just to make sure, I paid for this service. So we'll see what comes up with that. I actually think it's a high grader. But we know what my grading, I'm hoping I'm getting better on these, the grading expertise here. An 83 shield nickel. I'm thinking that grade for that. Full bands, Mercury dime. I'm thinking it's a pretty high MS in there. Or I'm hoping for it at least. Then I've got a bunch of Benji submissions. I got 3 here. I'm thinking full bell lines. And you can kind of see the grades there. And then I've got a couple of Morgan dollars here at the end. I'm thinking straight out, this is a VAM 10. We'll see how that one goes. They may think something different on that. And then the 88 Morgan, I thought there might be something going on there, so I paid for them to research it out and see if there is a VAM on there. So anyway, those are the coins we're going to look at. I'm going to start from bottom and go up top, just like I've done with the PCGS ones, which means I'm going to be going left to right on it. Hopefully these sticky notes they look like some of them are kind of coming off. But anyway, that's what we're going to do with it. Let's go ahead and get started and check out the 1888. So we're going to start out looking at the Morgan dollar 1888. There may not even be a VAM here, but we'll see if they saw something or not. MS62 on that, so low mint state. And here you can see the obverse. Full details, basically, especially in the high points on the hair. Pretty shiny. Not that that means anything, by the way. Do you see a lot of scuffs there, here and there? Bag marks, more or less. But overall, I think it's a pretty good looking coin. Let's go ahead and check the reverse here. Get it on the right side. And there you got the reverse. Overall, pretty nice looking coin. Let's go ahead and take a look at it on the scope. Okay, so before I get started, let's remember that the scope is showing this with more magnification that they're going to use when it comes to grading, but it's going to show what it's going to show. And as you can see, and by the way, I'm using a side light this time, so we won't have those circles, but there is going to be a little darkness here and there. This is actually the reason why I think there's a VAM going on here with the neckline. Looks like there's a bit of a die crack, but I wasn't quite sure about it. You can see a lot of bag marks there. I can't say anything about that. That high point in the hair is the part that I question as well. That's why I didn't think if it is MS, it's going to be low MS. Let's go ahead and check the reverse. That's the top of it. Not the best of strikes, by the way. That might definitely be a part of how they grade this. They could definitely go down to AU. But they shouldn't be any lower than that. Let's go ahead and take a look at what they're going to say. Let's go ahead and unveil this sucker. Just a reminder, it is a Morgan dollar from 1888, minted in Philadelphia. And this is my thought on this. Let's see what they are thinking. So far, so interesting. It is going to be MS. That's pretty cool. And it did get a VAM designation. Not only is it MS64, that's very interesting. I did not expect that whatsoever. It's a pleasant surprise, but I don't know if I really agree it's an MS64. I'm going to take this positively. Cool. I'm not quite sure what a VAM 1C is. I'll list that in the video itself and give you as much information as I can on it. But anyway, very cool. Very happy about that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next coin. Okay, so I'm using PCGS's price guide. You know how this stuff goes. 64 mainly kind of goes to 140, but you can see the auction. Auctions are kind of going from 144 down to 95 for all that matters. That's kind of where I was seeing it price-wise. But, I was also thinking I was using the MS62. There's the plus there, but you can see it's 105. That's why I was thinking about 100 for that. There is no place for the VAM. The VAM does not show up on the 88 slide, so I have no idea how it would affect the price. I mean, you would think it would go up a little bit, but I've seen some VAMs, frankly, be meaningless when it comes to price. Anyway, what a great start. I have not had a start like that yet. Usually it's been 1. It's been genuine but not gradable. 2, much lower than the heck that I thought it was going to. So you know what? When I see this, I'm good. Okay, so we're on to the second one. 1880 out of New Orleans. VAM 10 designation, that's what I'm thinking. I'm also thinking that is 62. Will I be surprised either way? Well, we'll see how it goes. Here it is. Let's go ahead and kind of fold that up just a little bit so we can see the whole thing. There is the front side. Pretty clean. And you can see that the hair is not completely, detailed there, but so was the last one. Let's go ahead and look at the reverse. And there it is. It's a nice looking coin overall. Even look at the feathers in the breast. New Orleans is infamous for not having solid strikes. That is a very solid strike for New Orleans. Let's go ahead and scope it. Okay, so we got the obverse on the scope. Let's take you a trip around there. Fields are pretty clean. Background. I see a pimple there on her cheek, but I don't think that really will affect the grading that much. Let's see. Yep. Everything looking pretty good. You can see right there on the highest point, there's a little bit of loss of detail. We'll see how it goes. Let's go ahead and look at the reverse. That hair there is something. I got cats. Cats are hairy. Oh man, just great detail in there. I didn't think the strike on the 88 was too strong there. I'm still a little surprised on the 64. I wonder what PCGS would say, more or less. I can't remember if the VAM 10 is dealing with the O or not. It might be. I'll have to let you know on that. Anyway, overall, looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and reveal. Okay, so let's go ahead and reveal. Or what do you think? We'll find out here. 1980, it is a VAM 10. Cool. AU 55. Very interesting. If I was going to compare both coins, I think this one's in better shape. I wonder why the 55 is coming out here. It's not that much lower, to be honest, than what I was thinking, but, it is a couple grades. Well, I'm not sure where they're seeing use here, to be honest. I think it's at least MS, but anyway, a little disappointing, but let's go ahead and look at prices. Okay, so here's the 1880 O, and I'll tell you what, this is one coin that kicks it up hard in when it gets into the MS section. The fact of the matter is, I was thinking I'd listed $175 for this. Well, you can see right there. Let's see if I can find the arrow here. It's MS60. I might have been thinking MS60 instead of 62 on this. So it might be something on a cob, but I still think it's a better coin than that. Anyway, this is, once again, VAM 10 is not even listed for 1880 New Orleans, so I wouldn't even know how the O would change it. So I've only got 55 to look at, and you can kind of see this is one of those coins that at least it's coming close to the generalized amount. Even one in 23 in January. It's a whole year ago, went for 100. Anyway, I don't know what to say about this coin. I wasn't really sending a lot of Morgans here, so I'm not Morgan inclined, I guess. Anyway, let's go on to the next. Okay, upward and onward. You can kind of see where we're at. He's crying there. Oh well. Next up, you can see 5 Benjis in a row here. 3 of them I'm thinking full bell lines. We'll see if that even happens. The thing is, I believe most of these I got in the May Denver Coin Show, and the guy I got these Benjis from Well, no, the guy I got the Benji's from was cool, but I would say that after, well, before I sent the submission, early October, a lot of the Benjis I got from this person toned harshly, I would say, and that's not something, to me. Toning is that takes over time to really tone out when it's got air to it. These had weird things, so I'm hoping I'm not going to get any clean designations, but I am not going to sit here and be surprised. I picked the best of the best to go for submission. I held on to the other ones because I just couldn't do it. They would have gotten clean designations. So anyway, let's get to it. We got our 59 in front of us here. Pretty darn good looking field and portrait. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back. You can see why I didn't think full bell lines on this. We'll get a better look when we get it under the scope, however, but it's a pretty darn clean coin. Okay, so you can see the top of the obverse, a little dirty here and there, but also remember, this is being scoped. I'm not sure if that scratch there is on the container or not. Seen a lot more things in here than you would see any other time, but pretty clean overall. I've never sent a Benji in, so I'm not sure what to expect in some ways. Top of the reverse, here's the bell. Can't really even see the writing very fully. I just don't think they're full bell lines. Over here, it seems to be a little bit lost. Hey, look at that big line right there. Nice. Anyway, there is that. Let's go ahead and reveal. So if you can remember, that's my thinking. And the more I looked at that there, but I just got to take it out of my head that's much deeper than they would look at it. Let's go ahead. It's really on there, darn it. Okay, so there it is. Wow, MS65. And they gave it full bell lines. I didn't pay for that. But I'm actually very glad that they did. I'm not sure if full bell lines you pay for anyway. I haven't dealt with ANACS a whole lot. So here's another surprise. I've had 3 surprises so far. 2 good and 1 not so good. But MS65, FBL. She has a nice looking coin to the eye, very pleasing. Microscope was showing a lot of different deals, but that's the way it is. Let's go ahead and check on price points. Okay, so here is 65 full bell lines. You can kind of see right there what they would kind of go for. Highest is up at 130, lowest is at 51. The thing is, I think I listed it as $60 on the price sheet, but so I'm very pleased with the results. Once again, it's ANACS. And the thing is, I'll talk about that a little bit after I'm finished, no matter how this goes, the rest of it. Let's go ahead and go to that next coin. So we are at this point right now. A couple of good outcomes and one that's a little bit lower than expected. We are on to the 1957 Benji, which I actually had the FBL line on there. I'm not sure why they put FBL there. Maybe that's something that's just they never really look at anyway. Anyway, I was thinking 63 plus on this. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Another nice looker here. I'm not sure why the shading is that much, so I apologize for that shading that's on there. Anyway, that's pretty stellar looking coin. There's a reverse. Let's go ahead and scan it. Okay, so here's the obverse here. You can see some little crisscross slashes there. Do not remember really seeing that before. But everything else looks pretty straight up. I said for a second, I almost thought the date was doubled there, but nope. Don't like that scratch there by the underneath the T, but let's go ahead and check the reverse. There's the top end of the reverse. There's the bell. I was going to say the lettering is much more obvious there. What do we think about those? I tilted the line up. Do we have full bell lines? I think we do. I wouldn't have put it on there if I didn't think so. But, I messed up on that whole one on the last coin. I just gave it to me, so to speak. Let's go ahead and unveil. Okay, so here's where we're at. I was thinking plus 63. I'm going to show you this because I've been unveiling it going bottom to top, but I just realized they kind of went with that. It's interesting at the Morgans, they did not put the VAMs up here, though. Just the off-centeredness of some of this is kind of annoying, to be honest. But, it's authenticated, so what can I say? Let's go ahead and unveil, though. Let's see what they thought about this. We're going to go straight across this time out. Well, definitely that. It is going to be MS. MS 65 again. Cool. But no full bell lines. It almost makes me wonder if they switched up from the 59 to the 57. I don't know what to say about that. I love the 65, that's for sure. And at least I was a little bit more on with the grade there. But, like I said, I wondered if they kind of screwed up on the full bell lines here. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at price guide. Okay, here's the 65 line. Somebody went insane on that one, but it takes. If you have the right audience, it goes for what it goes for, and then it sometimes doesn't, as you can see some of the prices there. So there it is at 65. I'll tell you this right now: if 65 at full bell lines is, at least PCGS wise, they generalize it at $200. That's a big jump from 64 to 65. Almost makes me want to crack that open and send it somewhere else. But I'm going to take what I've got. 65 is nice. Let's go to that next coin. So we're at the next one, the 1954S Benji. You can see my thoughts on the first three. Really happy with the grade designations. Cannot complain about that. There are some interesting things happening, I think, but maybe it's just me. 54S. I'm thinking this one's 65 hour, as you can see. Let's check it out. I think that might be, maybe not. I don't know what those are about, to be honest. It's a clean coin, as you can see, but those marks are very interesting. The reverse, the same thing. It almost looks like a fingerprint there to me. And it's hard to tell. Maybe actually a little dent instead. Let's go ahead and scope it. Yeah, this time around I'm showing you the reverse first. There's the S mint mark there. Yeah, that's sure. And I don't remember any fingerprints. I'm actually pretty retentive when it comes to that. Almost looks like it might. I hate to say the word clean, but we'll find out here pretty soon. So anyway, there's the reverse on that. And pipe that up. Those lines annoy me immensely, and I don't really remember that. Definitely could affect it. There we are. We'll have to see. Let's unveil it. Yeah, just a quick reminder. This is what we're looking at. 1954. Been in San Francisco. I'm thinking I have pretty high thoughts on this one. There's the pricing on that. This one I did not have at full bell bell line, so let's go ahead and just rip up the bandage. It is MS, and it is 65 again. Cool. Right on the dot of what I was thinking. I don't I'm just I don't know. I'm just wondering if that might, some of that stuff might be on the inside. It just wasn't a clean container. I don't know. Cool beans. I'm actually pretty darn ecstatic about these Benjis so far. Let's go on to the next one. Yeah, so we are on to the next Benji on the list, the 1950D, and I'm thinking full bell lines on that. Let's see if that's actually something that's going to happen. Thinking the MF63 on that one. Let's go ahead and take a look. There is the verse. We'll stand it up like this. Let's see if it... Yeah, pretty clean. Little play there on maybe Bagmark City. Let's go and take a look at the back end. It's got a little toning in there. I definitely know this is one of the ones that I got at the coin show. This is just weird ass toning, but I didn't think it was weird enough, to be honest. We'll have to see how it goes. Bell lines look clear. You can see the bell lines from here. Even whatever the heck that is, that little mark there. I don't think that's even interrupting maybe interrupting that bottom line here on those top 3 or 4. But I don't think that's really going to do much to it. Let's go ahead and scope it. Okay, so here's the obverse of the Benji. See a little bit more crisscross lines there, but still pretty clean. A little dirty here and there. There's those marks on the right. Interesting. Might be why I was thinking 63, I think, on this. Let's go ahead and reverse it. There's the D for Denver. So the lines are sticking out there pretty darn good. There is, well, that's the crack, Jeff. Jesus Christ. That mark that's right here definitely is invading, but I don't know if that would be enough to affect the FBL designation. We'll have to see. Let's unveil. So this is the one we're looking at. 1950, minute in Denver. 63 is my thoughts on this. Oopsie, whoopsie. Okay, let's go ahead. We know it's MS by the M and the S, obviously. Once again, 63, FBL. Got the FBL designation and right on with the MS63. Cool. That's 2 in a row. I've actually got right on. You know, I'm taking these victories as they come. This is much different from previous submission checks. Let's go ahead and take a look at it price guide wise. Okay, so you can see the 63, which is what gave it grade wise. This is the full bell line section. 65 is the generalized price. I'll speak a little clearer there. And you can see it's a little bit lower auction-wise. You know, if you get the right audience member, maybe they'll pay $500,000 for it. I mean, take a look at this. What is this? It's 664 here. Somebody's going 165, and you can see the rest of the prices are kind of normalized. Anyway, cool. Man, I'm right on 2 in a row here. I'm pretty jazzed about that. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so going pretty good. We've only had one that's really been lower than expected here. So let's keep the good vibes going. 1948 Benji, the last of the Benjis here. I'm thinking 63 plus. Sorry, and I am also thinking full bell lines. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. And you definitely can see some toning going on there. Let's say, was it a cat here? No, it is not. Kind of wondering about that a little bit, but I don't know. It doesn't look really major down. And here's one of those. This is is definitely one I got from that coin show back in May. Just weird areas of toning. I don't know. But as you can see, the lines of the bell are looking pretty darn good. Let's go ahead and scope it. Yep, so top of the reverse. Those lines are there. Let me, that's either a scratch container. That's just a weird looking scratch. I don't think that'd be a scratch on a coin. I think it's actually the container in this instance. Darker areas are the toning. And you can see the bell lines. They're looking pretty darn full there. Maybe a little weak on the left-hand side, but other than that, looking pretty good overall. Let's go ahead and look at the obverse. Got some of the toning there, definitely. Everything is looking pretty clean. Let me get the left side there a little bit. Everything is looking pretty good. I'm sticking. This may actually go a little higher MS, but we'll find out. Let's go to the reveal. Just reminding you of what we're looking at. Benji, 48 Philadelphia. My thoughts on the subject. The only thing I'm swaying is I think this might get a better grade. We'll find out. Oh, and whoa. And there. Wow. And by the way, how do you get an FBL if you're in AU? Is that a thing? Gee. I don't know how this gets an AU. I really don't. I'll let you make decisions. Please do comment, by the way. You may see something that I'm not. Yeah. One disappointment in there, and that's all right. We've got 3 more to go. Let's go ahead and go to that Merc Dime. We've got 3 more to go. We are on the Merc Dime. I think it has full bands. Of course, it's going to have to be MS to be full bands. I still question how you can give an FBL designation to an AU coin. We'll sojourn that later. It's 43D, by the way. I'm thinking pretty high. I mean, I thought about this one as 65. This is about the same one coming in here. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Here's what I'm going to say already out the bat. I did some, not a lot of research. But grading mercs are frickin' hard. I don't care how you play it. This looks like, to me, like the headgear here has full detail on it. Looking pretty shiny. Doesn't look cleaned. We got a 43 there. A little neck scratch there. Not my favorite thing to see there. And then there's that pretty thing. The reverse looks optimum. I definitely, when I see that reverse, I think, yes, that's 65 at least. And the bands are there. And we'll get a closer look on the scope. Yeah, one of the few times we get almost a full coin on the scope itself. You can see the reverse for yourself. Bands are in place. This one, I believe, is always the toughest of all of them, but I see full lines there. Let's go ahead and go to the front, better known as the obverse. Dirty here and there. I thought I might have seen a little scratch on the neck, but I don't think so there. Nice little coin. This is definitely the best looking Merc that I've got. I'm not a big Merc, at least at this point, a Merc collector yet. Who knows? Let's go ahead and unveil. There we are. We're looking at a Merc Dime. That's my thoughts. It's a 43D, and those are my thoughts on MS. Here's 64, 65. Well, let's go ahead and unveil. It is MS 63, a little lower than I was thinking, but at least I got full split bands. A little lower than I was thinking. But like I said, this is the first time I've actually Centimark dime in. I'm not very confident at all with how you can, what to really look for best wise. Something I need to research. Anyway, sorry about those lights. The thing is actually screening off a little bit. I'm actually pleased with that. Let's go ahead and go on. Here's the price guide for 1943 Mercury dimes with full split bands. As you can see, with PCGS at least, they have no representatives there. So I'm just going to kind of shift it to 64 just as a kind of a look-see. I mean, you can see for the 63, it's at 33. Sorry, the camera's focusing on my finger instead. Auctions are pretty wild here, man. Somebody paid $288. As I said before, audience is everything, and if the audience member is going to pay it, that's what it's worth. There you are. Let's go ahead and go to that next coin. Okay, so we've looked at 8 coins. The only things left, we do have a couple of shield nickels. First time I believe that I have submitted nickels, period. I've not done buffaloes or V nickels. I do have a couple pending with PCGS right now. 50D, and then one I found on a box hunt. 50D will definitely be MS. And I think Jeffersons are a little easier to, frankly, do. And I don't have a whole lot of shield nickels. These are kind of guessmatics, to be honest. So let's take a look at them. This is a 1983. No variety. There's nothing playing with the 3 there. Let's go ahead and look at the reverse. A little bit of schmooze there. You know, I'm thinking AU 55 on this anyway. At least AU 53 would work with me. Overall, pretty clean sort. I do have other shield nickels that are just obliterated. Let's scope it. This is the reverse on the scope. You can see the top. Almost got the whole nickel in. You can see this. That's why I'm thinking it just cannot go above AU on this one. It's a pretty tight looking coin. There's not a whole lot of wear going in on that. Some of the shields I've got are just ridiculously nasty. Here is the obverse. At least I believe it to be the obverse. It may not be, by the way. I may be completely wrong in that. I usually equate dates with obverse. There is a... Get my finger in there. There is a 3/2 variety, but that is not one of them. Nice little cat hair on there as well. Hey, maybe a couple there. Let's unveil. Just a reminder, we are looking at a shield nickel. 1883, last year, the shield nickel had actually shared time with that transition into the Liberty V nickels. Which had a couple of different 1883s. And the first one coming out that did not have the no cents on it and being used basically as a $5 bill by some nefarious guy. I cannot remember his name. What do they call it? A racketeering nickel. There was an 1883 at the end of the year that had cents on it, and that kind of clarified. Anyway, just share some time with that. This is what I'm thinking. AU 55. And I could be wrong on this. I didn't see a whole lot of wear. So, we'll see how it goes. There's the A. So, I did get AU. A little bit under the 55, but I'm plenty good with that. Still a nice looking shield nickel. Go beans, let's go ahead and look at pricing. Okay, so this is the 1883 shield. 53 is what I got. Generalized price. You can see the auction prices. Man, they're like half of what that generalized price is at. That's a little... Okay, I'm going to say interesting. I'm not going to be negative about it, but still. Jamie, Christmas. I wouldn't sell mine that low. Screw that. I'm sorry. I had to find the right audience. Got one more to go, ladies and gents. Let's get to it. Okay, we are on to the last submission, Unveiling. As you can see with the empty box, here are our results so far. For the most part, it's been a really cool unveiling. Easily the best one I've had. But let's go ahead and take a look at the shield nickel. And I got a lot of affection for this one. I'm thinking, by the way, there it is, MS62, lower MSs. She's a very cool coin, and I'm going to show you why here in a little bit under the scope. But it's also not going to be something that's going to be perfect either. Pretty good looker all the way around, by the way. Best shield nickel I've seen, or I've had at least. Let's go ahead and scope it. Yep, so here's the reverse. I'll tilt it here a little bit, maybe I'll get a better light. Really clean. I can see a little bit of a mark there too under the 5, but other than that, the rim is looking really nice. So let's go ahead and take a look at the obverse of this. And I'm actually going to have to, it looks like, bring it in here in a little bit. What you cannot see, and I think I can see a little dirt in there, but the shield is looking mighty fine. All the lines are, there might be a little dirt in there, but that ain't going to bring it to AU land. At least that's not, in my thinking, it isn't. The one thing you're not seeing here is all the doubling that's in here. So I'm going to actually move the scope up a little bit. Before I get to the scoping, I did list this as a variety. I actually let them do the research. You can pay for it. I did that down here as well, and then they found something. It just lucked out. When I was looking for a variety for this, I could not find it. Now I'm going to show you for what. There's the date up close. There is, you can see doubling on everything. I mean, look at that 2. The 2, it looks like it's squarely over another number. That's not it. Take a look at the doubling here. On the guy, in God we trust. It's all over this coin. The fact of the matter is, I actually think it's on the shield itself too, but let's see if I can find a pattern. See, there's a little bit of doubling on the shield itself. Anyway, I sent this pictures of this to Rob, who doth find treasures. And he thought it was machine doubling. I thought it was machine doubling too, but it's just really cool machine doubling. I believe I sent this to Southern Metal as well, and he concluded it to be a particular type of machine doubling as well. He's pretty good at both men. Rob and Southern Metal are really good at double dies. So I'm believing it's machine doubling too, but I paid for them to look at it, and let's see on the unveiling what they're thinking. I'm hoping this is at least MS62. So this is the one we're at. It's a shield nickel, 1882, and that's my thinking on it. Let's see what they thought. Oh, man, it's going to be AU. That's already a little bit disappointing, folks. Better be at least 58 plus. Son of a you-know-what. In no variety. That doesn't surprise me. But the AU55, that's a disappointment. And that was my big deal. I don't deal in shield nickels. I don't know what you really are expecting in shield nickels for that to be anything but at least a low-grade MS. But, I'm not the expert. Let me know what you guys think. I've been off on a lot of things in the past, and I've been off on some things here. Let's go ahead and let's do a summary. Okay, forgot to do this. We'll go to the summary in a little bit here. I was a little PO'd there at the AU. I might Yeah, I'm not even going to discuss what I might do with that. Anyway, you can see where they're at 160. There's no way I would let this go for anything less than that, period. I think that's a better coin than that. Simple as that. Well, you can see I'm still uh, sorry about the language there, folks. Let's go ahead and do the summary now. On to the summary. Here's all my thinking. Remember, all this is the stuff I sent in, and here are the grades that came out. I'm really disappointed in this, but there's a lot of good stuff here too, so let's go ahead and look. These three are in my I'm totally not agreeing pile, or I'm not understanding stuff, I guess. I don't get the AU for this. This is at least MS. To me, it's at least an MS coin. If it's not high, it's not high. For New Orleans, the reverse on that thing was stellar. I just don't get it. It's not a thing. Well, at least for PCGS, it doesn't. It's kind of like everything else, like full split bands or Rosie, I believe, has bands in it too. I think it has to be MS to actually be full bell lines. PCGS doesn't even have a number for this. I agree. So I'm not sure what to even do with this. I don't agree with what's an AU58 either. At least low grade MS, folks. Come on. And these are coins that I've not dealt with before, so I'm sure I'm making some mistakes on them. But I'm just not seeing some of the things that they're going with. Very happy with everything on this side. It's a little lower than I was thinking here, but it did get full split bands and 63 grade. Just a little bit lower than I was thinking. I believe, let's see, 54S. Yep, I had this at 65, and it's dead on what I thought. This was the first one I showed you guys, and this guy actually got a couple of grades above what I was thinking. And I think this is a better looking coin. 65 on the 57 was a bit above. This was pretty close. I was thinking AU 55, but 53, no problems with that. 50D at a 63. What did I have that starting at? 63. So right dead on with what I was thinking. And then I think this is the first Benji of the day. Full bell lines. Oh, and remember, this is the one. I think these two, when they were typing stuff up, mixed them up. I think this is the FBL, and I don't think this is. But, I am checking into it myself. I'm definitely going to send them this. Remember, please make comments in the comment section or what you're thinking on some of these. Maybe ANACS does allow full bell lines for AUs as well. I don't know. Overall, I am actually very, very pleased. Just a little bit disappointed at the end. I'm very pleased with a lot of this stuff that came out really nice. And I love these coins, no matter what grade they're on. At this point, I do have one that just went into PCGS. I had the Unveiling video on it. Who knows how long it's going to take. We'll see. Anyway, I do have a penny roll hunt in the offing later on. I appreciate it if you watch, especially if you watched the way all through this. I'm sure this is going to be another one of these long ones. Fast forward if you just see the unveilings. Hope you had fun. I had fun going through this. Whether I'm disappointed or not, I still had fun doing it. Have a nice rest of your week, no matter when you see this, and have a great weekend. Be safe and healthy out there. Cheers to you.